guys, welcome to TW Local 100's first live meeting. I'm going to have to apologize to you guys for the tardiness of it. That was on my end here. For whatever reason, my program said, screw you. But we're here, we're live, and we're going to get things started. I'm going to start off by saying, for those of you who don't know who TWR is, I had a graphic. I can't put it up right now, but we have graphics all over our Facebook page to let you know exactly who we are, and we're just going to continue to roll on from there. So I'm going to bring in the TW's committee panel, and I'm going to introduce them, starting with the president of TW Local 100R8, Mr. Lloyd Archer. And we have also with us Miss Anita. We have Pat. We have Lori. I'm gonna fix you, Lori. Give me a second. And we have Donovan. And last but not least, I'm gonna fix you too, Julio. Julio, big fix you, Julio. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna pass it over to Mr. Presidente Lloyd Archer. Take it over, Lloyd.
Good afternoon, everybody. We apologize again for the technical difficulties, all of these crazy things with these computers. Things do happen. And thank you for coming out, spending a little time with us today. Uh, Welcome the newcomers. Welcome the active members that are interested in this fight and that understand that one day you're going to be retired and you may or may not be in our situation. Hopefully not, that you will be in our situation. We need you guys to please get involved, pass the word. Uh, Without further ado, let me get into some things. As most of you know, in 2023, the retirees were auto enrolled into this Medicare Advantage, or may I say disadvantage. There's a lot of problems with it. Uh, if you've been watching us, following us, you'll see videos that we have that prove to you that there's problems. They tell us that it's enhanced, which is a lie. Uh, and that's been our spiel for the last year and a year and a half almost. So let me get into it a little bit. Right, you don't have to be 65 to be on Medicare. You can retire on disability and be on Medicare disability, right? And if you work for the Transit Authority, it will affect you. It definitely will affect you. And for the actives, you may not have problems with your medical, your doctors, but you probably will have problems with your prescriptions if you're on any. Okay, now let me get into the court case from May 15th with the city employees. I was up in Albany with them, and I was very interested. I never did anything like that before, but there was a heavy argument that the city employees were promised that they would have their Medicare, traditional Medicare, when they turn age 65. As you know, they're trying to strip them of it. And it went all the way up to the Court of Appeals, New York State Court of Appeals, in which they're waiting for a decision, which we hope that it would affect a decision that our judge hands down. Okay, the judge uh, that made the most compelling argument to me, her name was Judge Jenny Rivera. She has an impressive resume. And the the deputy mayor that she was talking about, was her name was Lilian Barrios. She was under Ed Koch, Giuliani, and so forth and so on. She promised the retirees at age 65 that they would have Medicare at 80%, and the city would pay the 20%. You want to roll that for me, Blunt, please? This is her argument at the in the court case in Albany.
So what do you take? I'm quoting from the AD, but it's right from her affidavit. That the city agency, I'm quoting, city agency HR people, she should know, since she's heading up HR, reiterated this promise of choice to generations of prospective city employees, the guarantee of good health care and retirement, including the choice to participate in traditional Medicare with a city-paid supplemental plan, was an essential recruiting and retention tool. Again, how would someone so placed so high level for for so many years be so wrong and is never corrected?
Just a little humor there at the end. I hope that made you guys smile. And other arguments that were made in this court case by the judges, was there a contract? Was there a contract? I kept hearing that. And they didn't have a contract, but they had promissory estoppel, which she just explained. All right. In our situation, in the local 100 situation, we had a contract, a signed contract that retirees would keep their level of benefits until they're age 65. Once they turn 65, they would go on traditional Medicare with 80% the Medicare paying, and the New York City Transit Authority would pay the 20%. And these bums in 2023 just removed that 20%, took the Transit Authority off the hook, and swore up and down we're in locations all over the place telling them that it's enhanced. When we have videos and affidavits of people that can't get surgeries, can't get their medications, wives are in the hospital and not covered under our plan. So what I really need you guys to do is understand that you got jerked around. Now, this is part of the contract from 2005, where all of us did. We paid 1.5% out of our salaries for retiree medical. A lot of people bitched and moaned and groaned about that, but most of us understand what Roger Toussaint's thinking was. Because before that, they had to buy Cobra once you retire. Cobra is very expensive. So he put the onus on the membership to help the retirees out, to help themselves when they retire. And it was 1.5%, but now it's probably, I believe it's 2% or more. But can we pull that part of the contract up so that they can either screenshot it and kind of read it? If you guys want to, this is the part. All right, we're a little. This is the part here where the leadership was supposed to meet quarterly to make sure that the transit authority kept the benefits correct without any diminishments. All right, without any diminishments. The president of the local was supposed to be at these meetings. The secretary treasurer was supposed to be at the meetings. The and member services. All of the top four officers, including the person in charge of member services, were supposed to be at these meetings to safeguard this and be the watchdogs. Guess what? They never went. Never went. So that shows you what type of leadership you had after Roger left. Now, I just want to bring up the contract language, if I can. And if you look in the contract language, it'll explain. If you want to screenshot this, also, it explained that you did pay for your retirees' benefits, and there's no reason for it to be diminished. All right. With that said, I would just like for everybody, please. All right, there's the contract language. If you want to screenshot it, you can screenshot it, and it explains everything. A lot of us didn't realize it, but we're trying to educate people to understand that we were covered. It was a safeguard put up so that we could be safe in our golden years, which I am in my golden years. And another thing, actives, look on your paycheck. There's a thing on there called FICA. You paid into that every pay period, every single pay period. That covers your Social Security, that covers your Medicare. So where is all that money? Where is all the money from the 1.5? The Transit Authority is now saving $73 million per year by taking us out of this plan. All right. I just want to say one more thing. If you have any questions, you can pose the questions. If we don't have an answer for them, we'll get back to you. You can go to our website. You can email it to us at www.tw100r@gmail.com. You're going to put it up on the ticker. We also have a Facebook page that you can go to and post your comments or ask your questions. You can also ask your questions here. And with that said, we need affidavits if anybody's having any problems, also to help our court case. And Miss Anita Clinton, she will be explaining that to you, and I'll be back at the end of all the presentations. I may have went out of order. I believe it's Donovan.
Donovan.
Donovan is next. He's gonna explain to you the evidence of coverage that you can read up on.
Thank you, Lloyd. That was some very good information that you laid out. Now, the evidence of coverage is a document that is intrinsic to Medicare Advantage, and the reason why it has to be is because this is like a for-profit agency, so they have to lay out the terms of what they're going to do for you, right? The evidence of coverage is about 110 pages, but it's something that you should try to read. Not all at one time. You can take your time, bit by bit, and just understand that document, because it does tell you all of the steps that they're gonna take as far as your coverage goes, your rights as far as being able to appeal any decision that you feel is wrong, right? So it's a document that we all should be um, very familiar with. Now, I have just a short video just to explain it a bit further. So please watch. So if you want to find your evidence of coverage, you have to go to your Aetna account and look under View Plan Details. That will then take you to your plan documents, where you will download your evidence of coverage. Your evidence of coverage is a yearly document. It only covers you from January 1st to December 31st, 2025, right? And it also says for you to keep this document in a safe place because it is a legal document. There's also the statement in the evidence of coverage that says that your providers are independent contractors. They're not employees of Aetna. They don't work for them. They're only contracted with them to give you that service. So that means that at any time they could change their minds and they could drop out of network and you would have to look for someone new, right? So it's subject to change at any time. Also, you will need prior authorization for certain services, and this approval must be gotten into advance, right? But let us listen to Senator Congressperson Ocasio-Cortez as she explains.
As you know, many people know, Medicare itself is a health insurance program run by the federal government that covers people over the age of 65 and some people with disabilities. But Medicare Advantage is not the same thing as Medicare. Medicare Advantage is for-profit insurance. Medicare is public insurance. And listen, Medicare Advantage plans can be popular at first. These insurance companies will make the health insurance plans look good because up front, when you're healthy and don't need to go to the doctor,
Okay.
it looks like you save a few bucks compared to Medicare.
So,
But then when you get sick, that's when the sky falls down.
we just
That's
saw
when
a
costs
short video
skyrocket.
explaining
And when you really need care,
the evidence
you
of
either
coverage.
can't get it in Medicare Advantage or you
And
have to pay
also
so much more out of your own pocket
some
on a program
some
that's
words
ostensibly
from
supposed to be done with public dollars.
Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez explaining further what Medicare Advantage is.
Donovan,
Yes.
let's start over.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so
Okay. Okay. So we just saw a video that explained different parts of the evidence of coverage, right? The prior authorizations, you know, things that we never had to do before, right? But when you're in an Advantage plan, you have to prior authorize almost everything that you do, right? And also then we also saw like a short video from Congresswoman Ocasio Cortez just explaining that a Medicare Advantage is a for-profit type of business. So that kind of tells us a lot about how they handle us. Okay, now I'd like to turn things over to Miss Anita Clinton, who will discuss the importance of filing an affidavit. Anita?
So, my name is Anita, and I wanted to talk about affidavits. And they're really, really important. What I noticed is that a lot of people will call the number, they will complain about an issue. Lloyd is the one who usually answers the phone. He will tell them, yes, that qualifies as an affidavit, and then that person just ghosts. And that's a really difficult situation for us because the affidavit is the lifeblood of our court case. So, what I want to start with is what is an affidavit? An affidavit is simply a written statement of fact. You will not have to go to court to testify. Your affidavit does that for you. What qualifies as an affidavit? If you have experienced any of the following: delay or denial of any kind of service, higher copays or denial of prescription, your doctor or hospital that you have used for a long time is now out of network, harassing phone calls from Aetna, any of these qualifies as an affidavit. We can assist you if you need help in filing an affidavit. We have video instruction on our Facebook page. We also have people on our team that can come to you if you live in the New York City area and help you fill out the affidavit. It's important to note that even if you had a problem and that problem has been fixed, that still qualifies as an affidavit. We need as many as possible because this will show that there are many different problems with this health plan. It is the lifeblood of our court case because affidavits are the proof that this plan is not an enhancement like the union says, but rather a diminishment. We're asking everybody, please, please, please reach out to us if you think that you might have a situation that qualifies as an affidavit. You can call, text, email, go on our Facebook page or our website to get in touch and get your answers. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to turn it over to Pat.
So if you want to,
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for participating, for listening. And please send us your questions. I would like to talk about the fact that many of us have dependents. I have a disabled dependent, and this has definitely been a diminishment for real. The amount of phone calls that I have to make now, the efforts that I have to make in order to make sure that myself is covered and my daughter are covered is crazy. You know, everything was so simple. And for me, this is just my personal opinion. I didn't change shit, so why am I working so hard to fix it? If they changed it, there should have been a smooth transition. And what about freedom of choice? Now I don't have the choice as to what I can provide for my disabled dependent. And that in itself is an affidavit. That is a diminishment. We are all feeling the challenges of how your prescriptions cost more. Her prescriptions will cost more. It's just ridiculous what we're going through. So if you're experiencing any kind of challenges at all, please do the affidavit. There is strength in numbers. The more of us that stand together and push for this and push to get back our choice that we paid for, I paid for this coverage that I no longer have. It it's just so we're so vital to each other. We need each other in this fight. So if you have a dependent, if you have a spouse that is your dependent, or if you have a child that is your dependent, then you feel my pain. You know what we're going through. So let us stand together and let us put it in writing. Like Anita said, your affidavit is proof in itself. You don't have to go and testify. That is testimony in itself. If you have any questions about how to write something, how to word something, trust and believe one of us will help you. So I want to thank you. Thank you for your time and your energy pushing forward, moving forward. We are not in this alone. It won't take much of your time. It certainly won't take the amount of time that you're making to make the phone calls these days to get the bare minimum that you're getting. I want to thank you again, and I want to turn it back to our president, Lloyd Archer.
Okay, thank you, Pat. Thank you, Anita. We left,
yeah,
is
Julio left.
Julio here? Is
Julio.
Julio here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we kind of jumped over Julio. Julio is going to give you a quick presentation on what's going on. So just give him a few minutes and then I'll come back and I'm going to try to close this out, but I have a lot to say. Thank you, Julio.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Julio Rivera. I'm a retiree from Maintenance Away, New York City Transit, and I'm here to let you know the denials are true. Either verbally or in writing, you will receive a denial. A small presentation is going to come on board with a video with me explaining my denial.
Give me a second, Julio. I gotta pull it up. It's been erased. Give me a second. Sorry about this, guys, but everything was erased out of the system, so I have to pull this video right back up. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You can't get the video up?
Yeah, no, I just have to pull it up. It got wiped out from when I had to delete
Okay.
everything.
So
Okay.
until Mr. Blunt is ready, I'll continue speaking. Again, the affidavits that we want and need could be done by you if you're denied, could be done by a dependent if they're denied, could be done if you inherit more money, more cost. Just get in touch with us. Don't assume that it's a no. Let us let you know if it's the affidavit or not. But a dependent, yourself, anybody who gets involved is needed.
Ready?
As far as this new system of denials, I hope that my video explain my situation.
Ready?
So
Okay. Starting now.
Hello, my name is Julio Rivera. I worked in Mesa Works for 23 years. I retired in 2007 with several health issues, which was not a problem since I was covered by traditional Medicare and supplemental coverage. But due to a recent contract, Aetna Medicare Advantage was imposed. I recently fell and had to have hip replacement. I had to go to a rehabilitation center and was promptly informed that Aetna Medicare Advantage would not cover my physical therapy expenses. I was forced to get out of disastrous Aetna Medicare Advantage and return to traditional Medicare. And I must find an affordable supplement, and as per the new contract, I will not receive any reimbursement or prescription coverage. My experience with Aetna Medicare Advantage has been a disadvantage, a disaster, a disappointment, and most importantly, a diminishment of care.
Yes, Julio.
Thank you for listening to the video. Now I leave it to the President Lloyd Archer, who will give you a final warning on when to ask questions, make comments, and have a good day.
Thank you, Julio. All right. I'm just going to say some things that each person on the panel want to make some comments on some of the things that they said. Like Pat said, this is a movement now. This is not just something that we're wasting our time doing. This is a movement. This is a life and death situation. If you haven't seen the video, we have a retired train operator which lives in Texas, and she got sick and she needed a defibrillator. If anybody doesn't know what a defibrillator is, it restarts your heart or it puts your heart back in rhythm when you have a episode. The doctor said, I got good news and bad news. Well, I tell you what, I'll let her explain that to you. Listen to her video.
Hi, my name is Rosalind Carr, a retiree. I'm a retired train operator. I retired in August of 2017. In June 8th, 2024, I couldn't breathe. I was coughing, and I had to call an ambulance to come and take me to the hospital. I have custody of 3 of my grandchildren, ages 6 through 12. When I got to the hospital, my pressure was elevated. I had fluid on the lungs, and I was diagnosed with pneumonia, COVID, and congestive heart failure. Subsequently, I had to stay a week and a half in the hospital. So after a series of tests, my doctor came to me. His first initial visit was, I know that you take care of your grandchildren, but I don't know how you're going to continue because we've diagnosed you with congestive heart failure. My heart sank because I'm the only one that these kids know and they depend on. I didn't quite understand congestive heart failure, so I asked him what did he mean. So he came back the following day and he said, okay, I got good news and bad news. The good news is you have health insurance. The bad news is they won't approve you of a defibrillator for 90 days. I became irate. I have 3 kids that are dependent on me to come home from this hospital and continue the quality of life that I've been giving them since 2017. So my doctor informed me that my only recourse was to wear a life vest. Mind you, it's 100+ degrees in Texas. It's a vest with a battery pack around my neck. If my heart stops beating, the life vest will shock my heart back, and then I was told to go to the hospital immediately. I was so disgusted that at one point I had traditional Medicare, and now I have Aetna Medicare Advantage that has policies that was unbeknown to me that they can control when I get help from when I don't get help. So this is my story, and thank you for letting me share.
You see why this is a movement, guys? And that's just one of the horror stories. That's two of the horror stories that we're going through. And as speaking to people, they're telling me, oh, I'm not having any problems. I'm not having any problems with my medical. I said, well, are you on Medicare? No. I said, that's why you're not having problems yet. Do you plan on getting on Medicare at one point? Yes. Okay, that's when you'll have your problem. Believe me, that's when you'll have your problems. That's just two stories, all right? We're speaking to a gentleman a few days ago. He went to get his insulin. They denied his insulin. A bad diabetic needs their insulin, all right? And this is their famous line. It's not medically necessary, okay? This and I'm going to hit on a sore spot where it seems as though people are believing stories about us that we're stealing money and we're using the money for our own benefit. No, we have a lawyer that we have to pay. We are suing the leadership of Local 100 and the New York City Transit Authority for what they did. This new president is now the president, but he's still lying to people. He's one of the guys that was standing in the crew room and admitting, I'm the money man. I'm the money man. I got $2 million in this contract for the actives to make your eyeglasses better. I got $4 million for your dental. Where do you think that money came from? It came from our 20% that the transit authority that was on the hook for, right? And again, they're saving $73 million. This is why we're asking for donations. We need donations. And I don't understand why they're not coming in. And first of all, I want to thank everybody that is donating and that's on the reoccurrence. I'm going to say something. I don't know. It may touch some people, but this is your life. This is your life. You hear the horror stories. We ask for donations. People ignore us. We ask for affidavits. People ignore us. But when they see me, well, what's going on with the case? And I say to them, what's going on with your donation? And then they said, why are you so mean? I said, I'm not being mean. This is something that we have to do. This is very important. And with that said, I would thank you guys for listening to us today and coming on, right? Please get involved. If you have a problem, please get in touch with us. We have the telephone number is 929-271-2. Let me make sure before I give you the wrong number. I'm laughing. I'm old and I forget things. So here's the number again, 929-247-7175. Again, 929-247-7175. Please call us and let us know if you're having any problems, if you need help with affidavits, if you have any questions, and if you go to the YouTube page or our website and you can ask questions and we'll respond as soon as we can.
I just want to
Thank
add to
you
that,
again.
Lloyd, as you brought up about the court case. And during your first presentation, you were talking about how they kept looking for contract language and stuff like that. And even though that case is different from ours, that's in New York City uh, public retirees case, it's very similar to ours. But the thing that struck me the most was that fact that they were asking for contract language. And in our case, we have contract language that says exactly what they were looking for. So it looks good for us. But like you said, we can't move forward. The lawyer wants money to do any little thing, and we need donations to come in. We have 1,000 people on our Facebook page. You know that if you do the math, we need about $75,000 to to help our case out. Um, if you do the math, that's not a lot of money from 1,000 people if everybody chips in. And then that's including, I want to back up the thank you for those who are donating monthly. The more donations monthly we can get, the better it is to go to our lawyer with money. Because he's not going to make a move without any money.
Correct. And with that said, now, if the judge comes back in our favor, the Transit Authority has 25 law firms,
Mhm.
right? So they have a big war chest. We are just guys, we are just retired people. We need the money in case there's an appeal. We have a thermometer on our page telling you exactly how much we have in the bank and how much we need. I mean, for $50 a month from 1,000 people, let's let's do the math. We shouldn't have a problem with coming up with this $75,000. Lawyers cost money. Nobody's going to do this for free for us. Again, I'm asking, any problems with your medical, please send us an affidavit. Please send donations. And please, please, if you get involved, if you know some retirees, if you got a group of people you want us to come to, we'll come. We're actually going to North Carolina on the 24th of this month to speak to some retirees. We got an invite because in different parts of the country, people still don't know exactly what's going on. Please follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's Roger Tucson on the YouTube channel explaining exactly what happened and why he set it up the way he did. Does anybody else have anything that they want to say? Because I'm running out of things to say.
Just to make sure, if you're watching this and you work for transit or you know somebody that works for transit, share this out to them. Share this out to everybody that you know.
I just wanted to add very quickly, the money you donate is an investment in yourself. You are investing in yourself.
Thank you, Pat.
Good look, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, and I'd like to say that that it's they spread this whole thing throughout all the different um, stages of retirement, right? We had the pre-Medicare people from 55 to 65. They now are subject to pre-authorizations, right? We are subject to pre-authorizations, right? And that process itself is a diminishment. We never had to do that before. So we need to only understand that the fact that this Medicare Advantage is a for-profit um, business, it's only going to get worse, right? Because they have to make their money. So let's step up. Let's file the affidavits and let's make the donations. Let's fight this. It's all of our healthcare that we're fighting for.
I saw a question on the comments. You can donate. I'm going to give you the website where you can donate. You can do PayPal, you can do Zelle, or you can mail a check. The website is www.tw, www www.tw100r.org. Go to that page, and it'll direct you how to donate. Like I said, you can mail a check, you can do Zelle, or you can do PayPal. Again, www.tw100.org. There's videos there. There's a lot of information there. Thanks for the question, CY, the DIY.
There's no R in that, Lloyd?
Say that again.
There's no R in that?
TW100. Yeah, it is. Sorry. www.twu100r.org.
The man told you he was old.
Okay.
I want to say, yeah, I just want to say thank you to Jose Figueroa. It's important that we have active members be involved in our struggle because if you don't die on the job, then you'll be a retiree, and you don't want
Mm-hmm.
what's happening to us to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And to piggyback on that, Anita, if they sold us down the tubes, they're gonna sell y'all guys down the tube. Believe me, you're next.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You
with that, yes, as a reminder that they're already doing that. If you get injured on the job, you're going to have to go through hoops just like the retirees. It's not easy like it was before. They're putting in the same kind of program for injured on duty to go through that what we're going through, and it's not fun and it's not easy. So they're already attacking the active members.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So you open up the floor.
Is there any questions? And again, if you're out of state and you're watching us and you need us to come, send us an email, reach out to me on the telephone number that I have, or you can put it in the chat right here, and we'll get back to whoever the head of the group is.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if Pamela Norfleet had something else to say. It looks like you started a
I'm
sentence, but you didn't finish it. So if you have something you want to ask or say, please go ahead.
Pamela is from Fresh Pond Depot.
nice.
Any other comments? Any other questions?
Amen.
Yes, Lord. All those who are participating, please ask, make a comment. Whatever can be answered today will be answered tomorrow.
Yes. You can make a comment, and if we can't answer it right away and we have to do some research on it, we will put it in the on the Facebook page. That would be the easiest way. Our Facebook page is TW100R at Facebook.com. If anybody wants to join the group. And again, guys, I can't say this enough. We need these donations because I have a feeling that soon our judge will be rendering the decision as soon as this Court of Appeals renders a decision, because the way it sounded in there, they're going to rule in the city workers' favor. And get out there and vote in New York also, because you're going to need somebody that's going to have your back. I know all politicians talk a good game when they want to get elected, but hold their feet to the fire.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Anybody else? Anybody else here wants to say anything before we go? Anita, Donovan, Julio.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who joined us and participated. We encourage you to stay in touch with us. And like we said, the donations and the affidavits are the most important thing that will help us. Because either way, if we, excuse me, if we win the case, you know that they're going to appeal. If we lose the case, then we're going to appeal. So this is a long-term thing. The city workers have been in court for 3 years. They won 9 times. They keep appealing.
Yeah, this is last 2 weeks ago was the last appeal that we do, but who knows after that what's going to happen
And be on the lookout for our next meet and greet in person. I don't know when that'll be. Uh,
locally.
Soon, I hope. Um, and the quiet person, Lori, on the screen, she's a retiree, but she's been working with Evangeline Byers in the back scene, you know, uh, trying to get the active members to get involved in our fight also, because you guys, if you're on here, you're gonna have a very huge fight too.
Mhm.
All right.
Remember, guys, it's their present, and for your active, it's your future. So don't get it twisted that it ain't going to harm you or affect you in any way. It is. So it's best to get into the fight now before it trickles down to you. And if they win this case, it's not just for them; it's for everybody. Remember that. You've been paying into FICA your whole life. Right now, as it stands, you will not get Medicare or Medicaid. You'll be going to the Medicare Advantage plan. So where's your money going?
All
So with
right.
that said, the
All right, guys. Again, I want to thank you guys for showing up today. Um, if you have any questions, like I said, send us the questions. Look for us to do this again in the near future. If you're out of state and you need us to come, please let us know. I know I sound repetitive now, but we need to get people involved in this. Yeah, Jose, how about them Knicks, baby? Um, game seven. And I'm coming to New York to celebrate with you.
exactly. They don't want to come home. They don't want to come here. Mhm.
All
All right.
right, guys. Blunt, I don't know if you want to end it here or
You
anybody else have any comments. Please say so.
yep, you got it, Lloyd. You finish it off.
Okay, thanks again, guys, for coming out. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Any other comments that you have? Everybody have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Remember, your dependents need you.